Did you know we spend like 60% of our day just coordinating work? Not actually doing the work, mind you, just searching for stuff and managing tasks. It's a staggering amount of wasted time. But what if your SuperGrok subscription suddenly stopped being just a chatbot you occasionally hit up for code snippets and transformed into an actual AI employee? I'm not talking about a basic assistant. I'm talking about a system that actively researches, plans out complex projects, creates content, remembers your past tasks, and genuinely gets better at your specific job every single day. Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're looking at a system that, when given hands, is no longer just a chatbot. It is a complete game changer. Most folks think of Grok as just a smarter, maybe sassier ChatGPT, but after unpacking this new integration, I can tell you for sure that framing is completely outdated. Okay, let's dive into this, because this is where the whole AI theory we've been hearing about for years actually turns into reality. When we ask, what if AI became an actual employee, we're talking about crossing a massive productivity threshold. Think about hiring a real human assistant. You don't have to remind them of their job description every morning, right? You don't have to re-explain your whole company history just to get a simple email draft. A good employee gets your broader goals, they research, they plan, they execute, and crucially, they remember what you talked about last week. That's exactly what the new Hermes Agent update unlocked when it teamed up with SuperGrok. It permanently closed the gap between a system that just talks and a system that actually works autonomously. To really wrap our heads around this, we need to break down the two main pieces of the puzzle, starting with the brain. SuperGrok is xAI's premium tier, and it is an absolute cognitive powerhouse. You get Grok's full, unadulterated reasoning engine. But here's the kicker. It's not isolated in some random server farm. It has real-time search right across the X platform, meaning it's seeing live conversations, breaking news, and market data the exact second they happen. Add in image generation, voice capabilities, and massive long context reasoning, so it can literally read a 100-page PDF in seconds and connect the dots perfectly from start to finish, and you basically have a brain with eyes and ears constantly hooked up to the live internet. And hey, since it's AI, it won't complain about sitting through meetings that definitely should have been emails. But a brain on its own can only think, right? Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how we give that brain a way to interact with the world. That's where Hermes Agent steps in as the operational layer. Think of Hermes as the hands that actually do the heavy lifting. It's an open-source AI agent framework that gives you persistent memory. Simply put, persistent memory means you're building an ongoing relationship with the software. The context actually builds over weeks and months. It doesn't just wipe clean when you close the tab. It supports multiple models, learns new skills over time, and has the absolute core infrastructure to run multi-step, long-horizon workflows. When you give the SuperGrok brain the Hermes hands, you get a system that takes a complex directive, breaks it down, and physically executes it over days or weeks without you needing to supervise every single click. You know the exact pain point I'm talking about when it comes to AI workflows, right? Before this update, if you wanted the sheer brilliance of Grok, but you also desperately needed automation and memory, you were basically duct taping two totally different tools together manually. It was exhausting. You'd open Grok, copy the output, paste it into Notion, try to rig up a Zapier automation to move it, suffer from massive tab fatigue, and just pray it to not break because of a misplaced comma. Total nightmare. But after the update, that operational gap is completely gone. You can now connect SuperGrok directly inside Hermes with a single seamless login flow. One unified system. The brain and the hands, perfectly and effortlessly synced up. And they didn't just smash two tools together and call it a day. We got some serious under-the-hood upgrades that make this genuinely viable for heavy daily use. The agent launches incredibly fast now, cutting out that annoying lag. For the developers out there, there's a brand new OpenAI-compatible local proxy, basically a universal adapter plug, so you can swap Grok right into your existing apps without rewriting all your code from scratch. Plus, there is Windows beta support. That's absolutely massive for the vast majority of non-Mac users who usually get left out in the cold with these open-source tools. Oh, and Teams integration. So this isn't just a solo hack anymore, it's a collaborative workspace tool for your whole company. All right, practical workflow number 1, the research to strategy pipeline. Imagine you're building a brand new startup idea, maybe a new fitness app that focuses on home workouts. Let's see how this workflow plays out in reality. Let's move to and see how this builds. Step 1, you open Hermes, tell it to research the competitive landscape for your app, specifically looking for complaints about clunky workout trackers. SuperGrok immediately hits X, pulling in real-time frustrations and viral trends. Step 2, instead of losing all that gold when you close the chat, Hermes stores it deep in its persistent memory, tagging it for later. Step 3, You ask the system to build a strategic brief based on that exact memory, and Hermes uses Grok's reasoning to whip up a structured document. And step 4, the real magic, you tell Hermes to update this market research every single Monday morning. It logs it as a recurring workflow. It's literally a system that improves its own output every single cycle.
Okay, practical workflow number 2, the learning engine. Let's pivot completely from business strategy and look at personal growth and upskilling.
Let's say you're studying machine learning and you hit a wall with something super complex like backpropagation. Step 1, you just ask for the clearest, most recent explanations. SuperGrok scours live academic and developer discussions to find the absolute best breakdowns available right now. Step 2, Hermes takes that raw material and generates customized study notes formatted exactly how you learn best. But step 3 is where it gets crazy. If you tell Hermes, man, I keep confusing gradient descent with backpropagation, it flags that exact struggle in its memory. Next study session, it automatically prioritizes your weak areas to clear up that confusion. It's like having a private tutor who remembers exactly where you stumbled last Tuesday. Your study partner literally learns how you learn. Powerful, not perfect, the reality check. Now let's just take a breath and slow the pacing down for a second. We need to be analytical here, because hype without honesty is just marketing. There are 4 core limitations you absolutely must know about before handing over your workflow. First, the Windows beta stability. It's still maturing, so you might face random crashes, and the team's integration isn't totally bulletproof yet. Second, compounding memory errors. Persistent memory is powerful, but it's like a bad game of telephone. If Hermes saves a wrong assumption on day 1, that error compounds across every future session until you manually fix it. Third, noisy real-time X data. It's a live social network, right? Highly polarized, messy, driven by human emotion, not a sanitized database. And fourth, because of all of this, human oversight is totally non-negotiable. You absolutely cannot treat this agent as a blind replacement for your own professional judgment. You have to be the collaborator here. And this brilliantly illustrates the massive paradigm shift we are living through literally right now. For the last couple of years, AI has basically been a simple question-answering tool. You query it, get an answer, you leave. But Grok plus Hermes represents a monumental leap toward AI as an operating layer for work, combining deep reasoning, live internet data, persistent memory, and autonomous task execution. That is not just a cool incremental update, guys. That is an entirely new category of computing. So the crucial point is perfectly captured right here. Most AI tools reset every conversation. Hermes breaks that pattern. Just pause and think about how much mental energy you waste constantly re-explaining yourself to AI. Setting the tone, defining the rules, pasting previous docs over and over again, it's exhausting. Hermes breaks that whole cycle, and SuperGrok gives it a genuinely powerful reasoning engine to interpret that history. The real magic here isn't just the memory or just the reasoning, it's both of those forces operating together, continuously on your specific context. So, as this tech scales up and becomes flawless, if an AI remembered absolutely everything about how you work, your preferences, and your goals, what would you explicitly trust it to handle? And honestly, more importantly, what would you never hand off? Where you personally draw that line between automation and human judgment is going to say a whole lot about the future of our relationship with work. I would absolutely love to hear exactly where you draw that line. This explainer is all about decoding the future of work, so please like, share, and subscribe, please. And drop a comment in the comment box with your answer to that final question. What are you handing off and what are you keeping? Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.